What can you say about one of the greatest fighters and athletes ever, Daniel Cormier, who you train with? You guys joke around all the time, so it's easy to forget how great he really is. What can you say about him as a training partner, as a coach, as a person?
When we talk about DC, we have to go back to 2004, 2008. He was a two-time Olympian. He represented Team USA at the Olympic Games, and that carries a lot of weight in this sport, especially in the 96 kilo division. And he is a two-time Olympian. Then he transitioned to MMA, won a few fights on the regional scene, went to Strikeforce, won fights there. They put him into the Grand Prix. He won the Grand Prix, became heavyweight champion, and then went to the UFC. When he moved to the UFC, he cut down to 205 pounds to make room for Cain Velasquez because they were best friends. Cain was the heavyweight champion. So he moved to 205 and they both became champions, one at light heavyweight and one at heavyweight. Later, when Cain lost the title, he moved to heavyweight and won there too. He's one of the most unique athletes who has ever lived. How many athletes do you know who competed at the World Championships, at the Olympic Games, in freestyle wrestling, then transitioned to MMA and became Strikeforce champion, UFC light heavyweight champion, and UFC heavyweight champion? And he's also remembered for his rivalry with one of the greatest, if not the greatest, John Jones. But by the time he fought John Jones, he was no longer at his peak. I think he was already pushing 40. Even though we have this friendly, joking relationship, because he's such a fun, interesting guy, as an athlete though, he's truly one of a kind.
As a commentator too, he's very good with words.
Educated, well-mannered, strong.
Yeah.
He has so many great qualities. Daniel Cormier is one of those people who I think can truly inspire others.
So who usually wins when you guys wrestle? You or DC?
Well, he's got a few years on me. But back in my prime, when I was competing at lightweight, I weighed around 84, 85, maybe 86 kilos. DC was always around 107, 110. Those are completely different weight classes. DC was better at wrestling and as an Olympian too, all joking aside.
So you feel...
Back then it was really tough, of course, but now it's different. Now I can go after him. But I learned so much from Cormier, honestly, so much. As a person, a wrestler, and a fighter. You know, we spent our best years together at AKA from 2012 to 2020. We've shared so many memories and moments together as well.
I just think it's a shame that people don't talk about him as one of the top 5, top 10.
Well, top 10 for sure. One of the top 10 greatest, no question.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
It's a shame, but you see this in football and in other sports too. One rivalry can overshadow an entire legacy. For DC, it's John Jones.
Well, John Jones was the better athlete. There's no doubt about that, but DC was right there with him. Yes, John Jones won, but DC gave him a real fight. He was that very person, you know, who actually made John Jones train harder. People shouldn't forget that. I'm sure John Jones prepared for that fight like it was the hardest fight of his life.